Hello, this is Dr. Michele Petrone, and welcome to NETC's presentation on maneuvering the Small Business CARES Act. Right now, we're going to allow a few more people to join us. In the meantime, we're going to play a few short videos. So hang on, don't go anywhere.
When Northeastern Technical College first announced they were moving all classes to a virtual platform, I was a little worried. I was used to being in a traditional classroom setting. I wasn't sure if this move was right for me. I had never done anything like this before. Then I paused. I took a deep breath and I began to see myself in the future. Technology is the future, and having this experience helps prepare me for it. I realized today was an opportunity to develop skills to prepare me for the world of tomorrow. Plus, NETC didn't leave me out to dry. The instructors and support staff are here to help me on my journey. They created a new online dashboard to provide tips and resources to help me transition to virtual learning. They have expanded their laptop learner program, purchasing 225 laptop computers to make sure students have the tools necessary to complete their assignments and receive resources from the college. NETC even formed a partnership with Samuel Telephone Cooperative to provide free broadband service to NETC students. Stay connected, get engaged, finish your adventure.
So welcome back to NETC's webinar on maneuvering the Small Business CARES Act. So let's go ahead and get started.
If you are interested in small business, you may be interested in our certificate in entrepreneurship. For more information, go to www.ntc.edu. Be you. Start your adventure.
So what is the CARES Act? On March 31st, the federal government passed the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, otherwise known as the CARES Act. This act created the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, this is the program that everybody's clamoring about on the news. This is the one that will get you funding to help you with your business. The Paycheck Protection Program provides $349 billion in loans for small businesses. Well, as of last week, the bill was refunded with another $310 billion. So yes, at one point the loan was exhausted, but additional funding was applied last week. And as of Monday, this past Monday, businesses were eligible to start reapplying. So it's very important, if you have not applied for your small business, to apply as soon as possible. The purpose of the loan is to encourage small business to maintain staff levels. So what can the loan be used for? It covers payroll cost, including salary, wages, commissions, and tips, employee benefits, your medical, sick leave, and vacation that are paid to employees, rent, utility cost, state and local taxes, mortgages, and interest on mortgage or other debt obligations incurred prior to February 15th, 2020. The loan may not be used for employees earning in excess of $100,000 annual salary. So that's very important. That's the cutoff. Employees with a principal residence outside of the United States, and leave and wages already covered under the First Families Corona Response Act. So when should you apply? Immediately. Small businesses and sole proprietorships were eligible to apply as of April 3rd, and independent contractors and self-employed individuals were eligible as of April 10th. The program closes June 30th. Businesses are encouraged to apply immediately due to the exhaust of funding. So it's very important. Again, if you have not applied yet and you are a small business, please apply as soon as possible. How much can a business apply for? The loans are based on up to 2 months of the average payroll cost from the previous year amounts plus an additional 25%. So all of your full-time employees' total payroll costs from last year plus an additional 25% is what you're eligible to apply for. And loans are capped at $10 million. So who qualifies? This is very important. Businesses with up to 500 employees in business as of February 15th, 2020, businesses with employee staff and paid salaries, payroll taxes, and paid independent contractors, and food service businesses with more than one location, but no more than 500 employees at each location. Nonprofits, independent contractors, and sole proprietorships, and tribal concerns. If you are unsure whether you meet the small business standard, the NETC, or North American Industry Classification System, can provide a standard for your type of business. The NETC is the system used by the federal government to designate the size of a business based on its industry. Industries are assigned a 6-digit number. So an example of some NETC codes include General Automotive Repair, 811111, Beauty Salons, 812112, Construction, this includes residential and institutional construction, 236220, and restaurants, 722511. You are not required to know or provide the NETC code for your industry to apply for the PPP. This information is there in case you need it to determine whether your business meets the small business standard or not. So we have a brief pause while people take an opportunity to submit any questions.
If you're interested in small business, You may be interested in our certificate in accounting. For more information, go to www.netc.edu. Be you. Start your adventure.
So how do you go about applying? Qualifying small businesses should submit an application through an approved SBA, Small Business Administration, and Treasury Department authorized lender. Lenders are encouraging businesses to apply no later than June 15th, 2020. But because of funding is running through, businesses are applying, the funding is being exhausted at a rapid pace. So it's very important to apply as soon as possible. I cannot stress that enough. So how do I find an authorized lender? Some participating banks in the NETC service area are First Bank, First Citizens Bank, Wells Fargo, Carolina Bank, Anderson Brothers Bank. To find a participating bank in your area, go to the web link and type in your zip code. Now this is sba.gov/paycheck protection/fines, or contact your local bank and they will be able to assist you in finding the application and applying for the loan. So what are the requirements to apply? We talked about being a small business, but there are a few other stipulations. So the borrower must complete the application through the authorized lender, submit the payroll documentation based on the previous year payroll costs, plus the additional 25%. Don't forget that additional 25%. That's in your favor. No collateral is required, and no personal guarantee is required. We have a copy of the application, and we will show that at the end of the presentation. So it's very important to understand that the loan may be forgiven. That's what people are very concerned with. So how can the loan be forgiven? If it covers payroll cost, mortgage interest on the business, rent, utility cost, and maintaining employee and compensation levels. This is the purpose of the Paycheck Protection Program, is to maintain those full-time employees. When is the loan not forgiven or may not be forgiven? The business uses the loan for other than what it is specified. Not more than 25% of the forgiven amount may be used for non-payroll costs. So 75% of the loan you apply for must be used for payroll cost. This includes gross wages, all your benefits, Social Security, and the taxes. So that's 75% of the loan must cover those items under payroll. If the business does not maintain staff and payroll. So repayment of the loan in the event it is not forgiven. The business may be required to pay back part or all of the loan if the business reduces its full-time employees, the business reduces salaries and wages by more than 25% of any employee earning less than $100,000 annual salary. The business does not rehire their full-time employees and salary levels back by June 30th. So it's very important. The purpose of this loan is to keep people working. These changes are based on the time frame from February 15th to April 26th. And full-time employees who are laid off and file for unemployment do not qualify as staff. So if you had full-time employees by February 15th and they filed for unemployment, they may not be counted under the PPP. This is very important. And buyer beware. It's very important that the rules be followed under the Paycheck Protection Program. U.S. government does intend to pursue criminal charges against any business using the loan for fraudulent purposes. So this is the slide presentation on the PPP. However, please stay tuned, and now we're going to talk about the next disaster relief program, followed by a short video.
If you're interested in small business, you may be interested in our certificate in management. For more information, go to www.netc.edu. Be you. Start your adventure.
Okay, so that was our presentation on the PPP. Now, if you are in South Carolina, this is another federal program. So it's very important if you are outside of South Carolina to check with your state and to find out your classification as disaster area. However, in South Carolina, on March 20th, the Small Business Administration approved Governor McMaster's request to make South Carolina small businesses eligible for disaster relief assistance. This is very important. So the Disaster Relief Program, EIDL, is known as the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, is for the repair and building of businesses. Provides up to $2 million of financial assistance, and loan amounts are based on actual disaster injury. So eligibility for the EIDL, different standards from the PPP, small and large businesses, private businesses, nonprofit organizations. The organization must have incurred economic injury. The organization is unable to meet its obligations and operating expenses. The disaster does not have to be the result of physical damage. This is very important. So if the virus has left your business in bad shape, does not have to be physical damage to apply. It's very important. You are eligible to apply for the PPP and the EIDL. The organization must be located in a disaster declared county or contiguous county. Again, this is the federal stipulation. So if you are outside of South Carolina, double check your county to see whether it is declared a disaster area or not. All of South Carolina was, so all counties in South Carolina are included. So the EIDL does not cover farms, lost sales or revenue, and when applying, the business cannot submit the same losses under the PPP and the EIDL. However, you may apply for both. So examples of what may be covered. Well, organizations may apply for both the PPP and the EIDL. The same items may not be covered. For example, if you are an auto shop owner, you can apply for payroll coverage under the PPP. Now remember, the PPP requires you to use 75% of the loan you receive for payroll. The other 25% may be used for items necessary to cover business operating expenses. And under the coverage of the loan on equipment in the shop under EIDL. Let's say, for example, you have an auto shop and your lift, you're still paying for a loan on the lift. The EIDL can be used to pay for the loan on the lift, while the PPP can be used to pay for your payroll coverage. That is one way to use both programs to your full advantage. And repayment of the loan? Repayment is based on the eligibility to repay. Always consult your authorized lender for specifics. It's very important. Whoever you take the loan from, make sure you're fully versed on the terms and conditions on the loans. This is time to please submit any questions in the chat box.
Michelle, it's Erin. We don't have any questions at this time.
Okay. Okay. We have not received any questions at this time, so what I would like to do is to end the presentation and show you what the form is to apply for the PPP. This form is available, hopefully, from your lender, and also it is available on sba.gov. You can simply type into your web browser sba.gov, and that you'll be able to find this application. So this is a 4-page application. However, there are only 2 pages of required material to complete. And as you can see, there is no collateral, no request for collateral, and no request for personal guarantees with this loan. Terms and conditions are provided on page 3 and 4. So again, it's very important that if you have a small business and you have not applied for the PPP or the EIDL, please do so immediately to protect your business. I would like to thank you for attending this webinar. This is Dr. Michele Petrone signing off for NETC. Thank you and stay safe.